Today we're reading Chapter 5 of The Coldest Winter Ever. Be sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted the next time I upload. Make sure you check out the other videos on Year of Ushima. Thank you for listening. Let's get started. When Mama was wheeled into the house the following week, it didn't matter that Santiago had coached us on how to act and what to say. By this time, he had told my younger sisters that Mama fell down and had a little accident where she cut her face. But no rehearsal could have prepared them for what they saw. Anybody who knew Mama could only be thinking one thing. Damn, who is that? She looks bad. Me and Magdalena tried to smile and make light of the situation, but the look of shock and horror that came over the kids' face when they saw her could not be erased by any joke. Mama was thinner than usual. The area around her mouth was twisted and disfigured. She had a piece of bandage covering her mouth, or covering a small part of her face. There was only one thing I was sure of. I would be driving the big Benz. Wow. Later that evening, while Santiago was out, I pushed my mother's door open and quietly walked in. "What's up, Mama? How you feeling?" She was responding, but her words were slurred. She sounded like an old-style wax record with a needle dragging on it. "Okay, Mama, don't talk," I said, holding my hand up and smiling wide to make her feel comfortable. "I got a lot to say. Let me just fill you in. Nordstrom's has the perfect all-leather red Adrian Vittadini suit for you. I even spotted some red driving gloves that go with it real nice. You hurry up and get better, 'cause we're going to be cruising." She gave me a sigh, then a half smile. I knew that meant I was making her feel good. Hell, this was Mama. I knew what made her feel good. "The housekeeper is here full time now. We've been taking care of everything. The girls missed you so much. They're real happy you're home. Oh, and Santiago, he's like a puppy without his woman. You gotta hurry up and get better 'cause he needs you." Just then, with the mention of Santiago's name, one tear rolled out of Mama's left eye. "Don't worry, Mama. If there's anything you need, I'll get it for you. We're gonna get it together." I leaned over and gave her a kiss on her forehead, then whispered in her ear, "We bad bees, remember? Bad bees don't die." Again, she cried instead of smiling. I tried to remain cool. "Girl, Santiago's gonna get you the best of everything, no doubt. Your face gonna look even better than it did before the accident." In Mama's gesture, I handed her the pen and pad from her night table. She scribbled a note to me which read, "Stay out of Brooklyn." Overcoming boredom was my new project in life. I had spoken with my girls from Brooklyn, but I ended those conversations as soon as the questions started flowing. Usually the questions started flowing immediately. Of course, nothing but a Mack truck could stop Natalie's mouth from yapping. She volunteered the information that some serious stuff had gone down around our way and some peeps turned up missing, which meant nothing to me except nosy mugs around the way ain't see certain people for a while. But for all they know, dudes could be down south visiting relatives or something like that. The block is hot, that's how Natalie put it, which meant that 5 was everywhere. That didn't scare me because we always had plenty of cops around our way in Brooklyn. Sometimes they were on the scene of the crime and looked the other way because they had a piece of the action. The way I figured it, everybody had to have a hustle to survive. The cops wasn't going to threat us as long as their cut was in it, as Santiago said. You got to know how to spread the cheese around the table. Natalie also filled me in on the up-and-coming cuties who was buzzing around the way and the goings-on. She had seen Midnight only once in passing. He didn't say anything to her. He never did, and according to Natalie, he just seemed to keep everything on the down low. He hadn't been to the club, and Tasia been running around with Little Nickel. I wasn't going to tell her about the new Benz, but it was taking all that I had for me to keep it a secret. Then Natalie remembered that my birthday was next week on Friday. She said she wanted to big me up on my birthday, take me out, get some bubbly, and do our thing. The bonus was that slick kid, her man of the moment, was cool with Bullet. We could double date and live it up at their expense. Bullet, I asked. Little Bullet? Girl, get up on it. Little Bullet is Bullet now, and ain't nothing little about him. I thought about it for a second. I always thought Bullet was a little cutie, swift on his feet, a fast talker, and definitely had the hustle in him. He was a small timer, though, not the type I'd ever consider to set up with or marry. But I could easily swing an episode with him. The puzzle was that I couldn't go to Brooklyn. I also couldn't mention that I wasn't allowed to go to Brooklyn. I had been stalling and lying to Natalie about why I wasn't coming around the way. Security at our house was an all-time high. The Saturday night parties were dead. Other than Magdalena's security and the workers, we couldn't invite no house guests. Now I needed to come up with some compromise, an alternative. This date was something I needed in order to connect with myself and my people. I really needed the attention. Mama had been hogging all of it up lately. Santiago been either having meetings in the den, out working in the streets, or on the phone. Yeah, I'm down for the double date, I told Natalie. I'll call you back to set up the details, but let Bullet know I'm all in. Strategizing came easy to me. I got that from Daddy. I just laid the problem out like a chessboard and thought of different angles to come at it. The key was to be able to relax enough to see the whole situation in your head. You got stressed out? Santiago taught me. Then you start making mistakes, overlooking critical stuff. Now, I wasn't a chess player myself, but everyday problems, I could decipher that. Thoughts was running through me like a high-speed train. Stretched out on my bed, I came up with a brilliant plan. I say it was brilliant because it wasn't just a simple everyday plan. It was one that took everything and everybody and every possibility into consideration. There was only 1 week left until my birthday. I started activating my plan that same afternoon. Mother was out of the confinement of her room and moving slowly throughout the house. Her mouth was still crooked and her face stiff and slightly swollen. She wouldn't go outside because of the embarrassment of her appearance. She was waiting for some type of operation to put her face back in order, but it was still too soon. The doctor said she had a few weeks of healing before her body could undergo another operation. I knew she was feeling bad. In fact, this was the first consideration in my plan. Mama, you're looking good today, I lied. I can see where you're healing. I touched the left side of her face with 2 fingers. Listen, let's go outside and head to the mall. She rolled her eyes at me. No, really, Mama. I picked out some fly things for you. Since your face is looking better, you might as well get back on your feet. I know you like to stay on top of things. You do want to look good for Santiago and all. Mama smiled. It was funny. Everything else could be messed up, but mention Santiago and Mommy's whole world would light up. But she still protested. I can't drive. It's not safe. I don't feel ready yet. Mama, I can drive. I can take you anywhere you want to go. Treat you like the queen you are. We can leave the kids with Magdalena. How about it? I opened my arms wide to give her a hug. She smiled. I've been dying to get into my new car, but I didn't want to torture myself. Don't worry, Mama. Just remember, I know how you feel. We've both been trapped up in this house too long, but today is our day and we might as well enjoy it. I helped Mama get dressed and ready. We picked out a full wig and tried to hide the left side of her face by letting the hair fall down in the front. I lent her my sharp leather hat. We went outside, cut the red ribbon, and both got high off the smell of the fresh leather interior. Pushing the Benz was like being the President of the United States. It rolled like a private jet. Even the potholes couldn't affect the smoothness of the ride. Everybody I passed on the road looked to see who was inside, yet the tinted window shielded us like we were top-notch celebrities. Mama looked happy discovering more and more features in her car. The wood paneling, her engraved initials, the CD player, digital display, lighted mirrors, and so on. She relaxed. I knew I had accomplished step one, getting Mama used to the idea of me driving her car. I had to get her on my side so we could convince Santiago that I needed to drive this car on my birthday. Mommy and I got manicures and even pedicures at the mall. We even let this butch-like Swedish lady give us each a massage. We ended with our date. We ended our date with a dinner. Wait until Santiago sees your new outfits, I teased her. He's gonna chase you all around the house. He won't have to run to catch me, she teased. Winter Santiago told me that when I was in the hospital, he had midnight watching you and the girls. I didn't tell him I thought it was a stupid idea. We were already dealing with enough, but I wanted to check with you to see what happened. I know how you feel about midnight. I avoided her eyes. Nothing happened, Mama. Not a dang on thing. He was everything Santiago wanted him to be. He walked a straight line. I guess I'm not as good as you, Moms. I can't get what I want from that man. He doesn't like me. He likes you, she snapped back. He'd be crazy not to like you. You have everything any man could want. Mama had tears in her eyes again. It doesn't matter anyway. Santiago said he doesn't want me with a man like Midnight. Something about it being dangerous and unpredictable. I gotta tell you, I was shocked to hear that. All of a sudden, he started talking about I should marry some doctor, lawyer type guy. Not nobody like him. I guess it's because of what happened to you, Mommy. What do you think? If you had to do it again, Mommy, what would you do? Would you have married some engineer or doctor? Mommy cried. Never. Never. I love Santiago more than I love my own life. The hell with other men. Santiago is the only man. He takes care of me. He does everything a man's supposed to do. He's given me everything. If I had to catch a bullet for him, so what? I'd rather they shot me than him. There'd be no sense in living without him. Her words fell on me like a huge rock. I was not used to this kind of talk. I was impressed by Mommy's loyalty to Santiago, and I hope one day me and Midnight will share the same kind of love. So you still think Midnight's a good catch for me? Mama sipped her coke through the straw and said, He's gorgeous. He's strong. He's a young Santiago. It don't get no better than that. Let me work on Santiago. By the time you're 18, I can see him giving his okay. Hell, it's progress that he talked to you about men, period. That means he sees that you're becoming a woman. He can't hold on to you forever. I exhaled, rolled my eyes. 18. By that time, I'll be so horny I'll die. We both laughed. You're young. Have fun. It's not like you gotta sit around waiting for midnight. He'll come around. How's he gonna come around when he's in Brooklyn? I'm all the way out here. I'll figure it out. We'll get him up to the house or something. We'll work on it. But you stay out of Brooklyn. Until when? Until Santiago says so. The next day, I strategically dropped bits of information about a party going on in Hofstra University, which was an hour from our house. If I was going to meet college educated men like Santiago suggested, I had to start going to some of these events. By the end of the week, I had buttered Mama up with compliments about her face. Now she was comfortable with lending me her car on my birthday and allowing me to go to the party at the university. However, I still had to get permission from Daddy to go out at night, even if it was my birthday. Convincing Santiago was always a hard bridge to cross. He just had a natural suspicion about everything. One slight thing triggering his intuition would cause the whole thing to get shut down. I waited in the kitchen Monday night for him to come home. Santiago, how you feeling? I asked sweetly. I'm okay, baby girl. What you need? Who said I needed something? You're looking and sounding so innocent. You gotta be guilty of something. He was talking in a joking way. I want to show you something, Daddy. Stay right there. I ran back to my bedroom and returned with my birthday outfit on a hanger. It was a black satin Chinese dress. I held my Joan and David shoes in the other hand. In case you forgot, Friday is my birthday. Have I ever forgotten you on your birthday? He asked, smiling. Listen, Papa, So, what I'm saying is, Hofstra University is giving a sorority party on my birthday. I want to go. Mommy said I could drive her car, and I plan to make friends like you said. The school is in Long Island, and who knows, I might even meet some big head lawyer guy. I killed him with my smile. So, what do you say, Santiago? Who you going with? I'm going with Vanessa, I said. To my own surprise, I had instantly conjured her up. She doesn't have a car, so I'll pick her up. I'll meet her at the mall. She lives about a half an hour from here in Deer Park. She's going to be a sophomore at Hofstra next year. She's studying to be a psychiatrist and, oh, all right, don't fast talk me. If your mother said you could use her car, then fine, be careful in winter. You are not to go to Brooklyn. Don't bullcrap me. Don't give me no excuses, none of that. Stay out of Brooklyn. Be home by 3 a.m. Winter, if you meet some big head lawyer guy, have him come here by the house before. Before what? I asked innocently. Before I have to break his neck for trying something stupid. Thursday night, I tied up the loose ends with Natalie. I played it cool, but I was so excited it was hard to sleep. I turned on my radio, dimmed the light, and let Jodeci help my eyelids close. When I woke up Friday morning, my sisters were all jumping up and down in my bed, smiling in my face, acting like they were having a sugar rush or something. What you doing in my room? I asked. Happy birthday, the twins yelled. Portia rolled her eyes. We thought you'd never get up. What's the hurry? Daddy went out, the twins said. So? I yelled at them. So he left a birthday present for you down in the living room and we're waiting for you to open it. Sitting up, I laughed. Why y'all waiting for me to open my present? Because everybody knows you always get the fly stuff, Portia said. Meanwhile, getting Mickey Mouse watch or Barbie dolls or something disgusting like that. My 8-year-old sister was going on 22. Always mad that she isn't me, always jocking what I have. We invaded the living room, and they held their breath while I opened another long, slim box. It contained the matching diamond necklace to the diamond tennis bracelet I got 1 year ago. My sister sucked her teeth at my sparkling jewels. I was amazed at how clear each individual diamond was. See, that's what I'm talking about, Portia said bitterly. Later that afternoon, I discreetly placed my Gucci overnight bag in the trunk of the Benz. By evening, I was all dressed up in my birthday outfit. My mother looked at my body, filling out the black satin dress. Instead of complimenting me, she cried. I thought to myself, dang, all she does lately is cry. But tonight was my night. I pulled out the driveway cautiously, trying to keep my mother's confidence and my driving skills secure. I was sure she was watching through the window. When I was out of sight, I ripped down the road, headed for the highway. Santiago said no Brooklyn, and I would respect that. Natalie, Slick Kid, and Bullet were going to meet me at the 42nd Street bus terminal in Manhattan. They had no idea I would be pushing a Benz. The best part of my birthday was going to be flashing the ride. I might even tell them Santiago bought the Benz for me for my birthday. On the way down, I pulled onto one of those all-service Amoco stations. I popped the trunk, grabbed my bag, jetted into the bathroom, and took off the ridiculous satin dress. My real outfit was red leather shorts that wore like a miniskirt, a red leather vest that accentuated my titties and fit right around my small waistline. There was no use for a blouse. I threw my stockings in a wastebasket. My legs were shapely, big, and beautiful. There was no sense in hiding them. I had no scars or bruises. So, what if I was cold? I wasn't walking. I was toasty in the red Benz. I threw on my diamond necklace and my diamond tennis bracelet. My soft, red leather jacket made it all perfect. With a piece of tissue, I wiped the foggy gas station mirror. I could only see a clean, small area. The mirror was permanently dirty. I drew on my lipstick, checked my hair, slipped my feet into my red leather Gucci shoes. I was good to go. Tonight was not the night for the big-headed lawyer boys or engineers. Tonight was the night for raw Brooklyn-style fun and live Negroes. In the trunk, I carefully stretched the black satin dress on top of the case so it wouldn't wrinkle. In the car, I pumped up the radio to stay alert during the long drive. I kept the car windows closed. I would creep up to the corner of 42nd and 8th, slowly lowering my window. Then I would shout, "Surprise, mother suckers, get on in." The scene played over and over in my head. The thought of the jealousy Natalie would feel thrilled me. I knew she would get over it quickly, though. That was my girl. She would be happy to ride shotgun in my whip. On the radio, suddenly Sister Soldier started talking mess, her coarse voice overpowering the music. The number one group of people dying from AIDS is young black women. I popped in a tape to shut her down before she started getting on my darn nerves. I slowed the car to a creeping speed. Natalie, Slick Kid, and Bullet were chilling on the corner. Bullet was looking good. I could see his gold teeth shining. That got me hot. A mouthful of gold is sexy like a mother. It just adds to the ruggedness, accentuating the attitude. Natalie was right. Bullet had filled out a little something. He had on a black baggy jeans and some crisp Jordans. Slick was rocking a Pelly Pale leather shirt, black pack, and jeans. Natalie had on an outfit I saw in Banana Republic the other day. Slick Kid turned around and caught sight of my Benz. He didn't know it was me, but the car was so hot I had his full attention. His eyes popped out and he started checking the vehicle, sweating my rims, stepping up close. Natalie and Bullet followed. When they got up close to the glass, I lowered the window and said real sexy like, "Y'all waiting for me?" Natalie screamed, "No, you didn't." "Oh, B, no, you didn't. I know this ain't your car. Don't even try it." "What?" Bullet and Slick Rick immediately grabbed a guy on the street who shoots Polaroid pictures and flipped him a 20 spot. They started posing on the hood, leaning against the car. I jumped out and we all posed together. Bullet licked his lips, put his arms around my waist as he said, "Dang, you look good." He opened his arms and stepped back. "Let me look at you." I swung my butt around slowly. "Big pretty legs," he said, talking sexually like we was doing it already. He touched my legs with his finger, smiled and said, no stockings, nice." I smiled. "I'm not walking. It's warm in the car. Get in." We all got in. I checked Natalie's face in the rear view. There it was, that jealous look. Seconds later, just like I said, it was gone. She was whispering to Slick Kid, kissing and messing around. "Hold on," Bullet said. "Where we going? To the club on?" "Nah, F that. Let's go to a quiet spot. I don't want to have to bust nobody's butt tonight for trying to get mine. I'd rather just chill with Winter. Let's shoot to the Marriott on 44th and Broadway." Right before we got there, Slick Kid jumped out the car and picked up some Alizé and Absolute from the liquor store. Slick went into the hotel with Natalie to check in. Me and Bullet sat in the car waiting. "I ain't seen you in about a year or so," he said, looking into my eyes. "Yeah, that's about right." I was playing shy. "Where the hell you been?" "Handling my business, just like you." "You never said nothing to me when I lived around the way." "A brother likes his life," he said, referring to Santiago. "Then why are you here?" I asked sharply. "'Cause times change. A brother grew up. Got a little weight on my own. Don't try to play with me, Winter. You wasn't checking me either." "Whatever. There's no sense in wasting time," I said. "'Cause time, I don't have a lot of. You look good to me. I hope I look good to you. I ain't had it in a long time and I'm ready to bring it together." I was looking him dead in his eye, letting him know I was serious. He leaned over and stuck his tongue in my mouth. He had a strong kiss. For a moment in my head was gone. It seemed like I blacked out. I was kissing him with all the passion locked inside of me. It didn't really matter who he was. He was a warm body, a masculine body. He had flavor. He would get to feel all of me tonight because I needed it. Natalie was knocking on the window and trying to see in at the same time. "Room 609, y'all. Come up when you're ready." "Glad to see we're getting along," she snickered and handed me the key. "We're in 610. Natalie headed back into the hotel. We pulled the car to the valet station and headed on up. Bullet poured me a drink of Alizé mixed with Absolute. I sipped on it and felt relaxed. "Take off your shirt," I ordered. "Let me look at you." He grinned. "Oh, that's how you do it, huh? You like to be the boss?" He pulled his shirt off. On his shoulder was a tattoo of a gun dispensing a bullet. The heat in me went up a notch. He walked over to turn the lights off. "Oh, no," I said. "I want to see everything. Turn 'em all on. We ain't got a dang thing to hide." I took off my jacket. I started to unbutton my vest, slipped it off, and stood in front of him with my young 34D standing upright with extended nipples. I didn't have to say nothing. He was all over me in an instant. Do what you feel, I said. I stepped into him and he began licking his neck. Oh, wait. He couldn't lick his own neck, child. Let me try that again. I stepped into him and he began licking. No, I stepped into him and began licking his neck. Okay. He didn't taste salty, and I like that too. A clean body. I slid out of my shorts. They dropped to the floor. I began to undo his buckle and went for his zipper. When his pants fell to the floor, his big penis stuck out of his boxers. I jumped on him, wrapped my legs around his waist, and removed his shorts with my feet. Everything was physical the way I like it. Watching his leg muscles go up and down, watching his ass move got me excited. I rode him like a professional jockey. All the energy in my body started running wild and high, then moved to the center and released. My body shook, then relaxed. I slid down his body onto the floor. Oh, no, you didn't. Not till I get mine. He mounted me on the floor, doggy style, and started giving it to me from the back. The chorus of his grunts and my moans turned me out. It was just a little freaky thing about me. The more I turned a brother on, the more excited he got, the more excited and wild I would become. 2 orgasms does the body good. We ended up in the jacuzzi with myriad bubble bath bubbles foaming up everywhere. We had our drinks, puffed our weed, and was cool with the silence. Then loudmouth Natalie came busting up in the room through the connecting door with Slickhead. Where y'all at? Slickhead laughed. Baby, just follow your nose. Next thing I knew, Slickhead was in the bathroom where we were with his sharp BL video camera rolling. He was cracking up and filming me and Bullet's cool out session in the tub. Wait a minute, Natalie yelled. Let me get in too. You don't mind winter, do you? She put off her shirt and pants and hopped in the jacuzzi with me and Bullet. Slick was laughing and taping us, talking about, Bullet, you a big Willie. Now you got 2 girls. Bullet positioned himself between me and Nat to pose for the camera. Don't put your hands on my girl, Slick Kid joked and yelled. Natalie loved it. We're in the movies, y'all. Want to do any shout outs? Oh, yeah, I said, liquor talking. I want to give a shout out to Simone, to Zakia, Asia, my girl Tashi, and all the live MFers in Brooklyn. BK to the fullest. I love all my peeps. Stay live, y'all. Slick Kid wanted to get in the movie, so he started filming himself with the camera. Attention, niggas. This is Slick Kid. I wanted to say to the black man is God. Bullet cheered him on and added his shout outs. We all laughed, drank, and puffed. We played cards, ordered movies, and room service. Buffalo wings, french fries, and lemonade. We had a good old Brooklyn-style good time. At 2:30 a.m., I told them I had to roll. Bullet wanted me to stay, but I told him I had to take care of some important stuff and I'll pick up with him later. What about breakfast? Time to make the donuts, Slick Kid yelled. They decided to stay in the room to check out since they paid for it. But this time, Bullet confirmed that he still lived with his grandmother and he didn't have no ride home. I told him, don't worry about it. I'll come pick him up sometime in the benzo. And as long as he kept it real with me, we could do it again. My buzz was wearing off. This was a good thing because I was driving in the light rain of the late night, early morning, organizing my story about the college party. I had never been to one in my life. As far as I knew, Santiago had not either. Still, I rehearsed it, knowing how clever Santiago was. When I pulled up into the driveway, Santiago's Lex was not there. I was surprised since I was an hour and a half late and 100% sure he'd be sitting in the kitchen with a mean old screw face ready to drill me. Luckily, I realized that I was still wearing the red leather shorts. Panicked, I swung the car around to the back, popped the trunk, grabbed my Gucci suitcase, and unzipped it. I pulled out a fresh pair of stockings and picked up the satin dress. I was quiet about closing the trunk so as not to wake Mommy. I ran under the shed in the back of the house and started to peel off my little red outfit. My body was covered with goosebumps and shivering from the cold 4:30 a.m. air. When I took off my Gucci shoes, I realized I had left my Joan and Davids in the car. I clutched my car keys, tweaked the alarm off, and tipped back to the trunk. I stuck the key in and swapped the shoes. By the time I got back under the shed, my feet were covered with mud. I took off my panties to use them as a tissue to clean my feet. When I went to slip into my new stockings, I pushed too hard and my big toe ripped through the bottom. The tear ran all the way up my leg. I took a deep breath to calm me down. People who panic make stupid mistakes, overlook critical things, I reminded myself. Okay, so I put on a dress, no stockings. I say they tore at the party. I started fumbling to put my hair back into place when I heard a noise from the side of the house. It sounded like cracking sticks under somebody's feet. I kicked the mud-covered panties under the bush and stuffed my little red outfit into the nearby garbage can. Come out of there, whoever you are, before I blow your effing head off. The voice came from the side of the house. It sounded like my mother. I was trembling. Mommy, I called out. Is that you? Winter, are you okay? She asked as though somebody had me bound and gagged. I'm fine, Mommy. I was just parking the car back here. She swayed around the corner with her flashlight and her little 22 gun Santiago had given her for personal security. The light. Take the light out my face, Mommy, please, I said, not wanting her to see my panties in the bush. Everything's okay. I went towards her, hugged her, and walked back around to the front of the house. What happened to the lights in the backyard? I asked. They broke them. They broke everything, messed up all our stuff. They took the lifts. They took Santiago. They tore up the house. Her words were going into my head in slow motion. My body froze like ice. Anger consumed me. Who took Santiago? The police. They came with papers talking about they charging him with this and that and the other thing. They searched through all of our belongings. They cut up my mattress. They scared the mess out of your sisters. They was crying and screaming. Where did they take him? Central Booking, the regular. They said they don't know where he'll end up. Just call the precinct, they said. He won't be arraigned until Monday, since this is the weekend night. When did they come? Santiago got back right after you left. Santiago got back right after you left. He said he had a feeling that something wasn't right. I'm surprised you didn't see him on your way out. The cops pulled up here about a half hour later with Big Island white boy by the book cops. They came from everywhere without warning. Up the driveway, out the sky, the roof, the backyard. Before I knew it, they were inside the house, outside the house, all in everything like roaches. They arrested everybody. Santiago, security, everybody except me and the kids. I didn't know how to get to you. Winter, eventually I beat midnight. It was about 10 p.m. I told him what happened and asked him to go to the school to tell you to come back home. He called me at 11:45 talking about you wasn't there. He looked all over. My guilty eyes locked into my mother. Her eyes were bloodshot, her mouth twisted, her face stained with tears. We needed a strategy to get out of this confusion. What did Santiago say? He was calm, cool. Of course, they had his hands cuffed, locked tight in the back of his body like he was some kind of criminal. He looked me dead in my eyes. All he said was sorry. Mama was hysterical or delirious or both. I told Santiago not to worry. I would come get him out. One of them smart-ass cops said, not the one in regular uniform, but one of the feds or something, said, it will be a long, long time before you'll see him anywhere besides behind bars. That's what you think, I told them bastards. That's what you think. The next cop picked up your picture and was like, ooh, that's a fine ass. That's when Santiago started breaking. He said he would make it so that cop would never see his own kids again. The other cop started reading Santiago his rights. Mommy, how many cops were there? Inside or outside the house? Both. About 15 cops inside and 20 outside, in the back, everywhere. I sat down on the kitchen stool. Daylight seemed to rush in. I made my mother take one of those sedatives the doctor prescribed for her facial pain. She had fallen asleep along with the kids. At 9 a.m., Magdalena arrived to work. What happened? She asked with her Latino accent. Long story, I muttered. Take your time cleaning this mess. We got to straighten it up, but it's no hurry. She had the look on her face as if she expected to be paid more money to repair this disaster. Don't worry, I'll take care of you at the end of the week, I told her. Money, money, I thought. Santiago's gone. How will we get money? The upstairs safe popped into my head. the one situated behind my mother's clothing closet that I wasn't supposed to know about. I ran up the stairs. I pushed open my mother's door gently, not wanting to disturb her. She was there, sitting on the bed, smoking a cigarette, something I never saw her do. Looking for the safe? It's gone. It's empty. It's gone. She pointed to the closet where the safe door was open and empty. Them bastards had warrants, papers, a whole bunch of stuff. They had been watching us for a long time. Other than the money, did they take anything else? Other than the money, she said sarcastically. Okay, other than $150,000 they stole from my safe for evidence, they said. Evidence. They're probably out shopping with that dough right now. They took the guns. They took plenty of guns. Coke? I asked cautiously. None. Santiago had just come back from his runs. Everything he had was already gone. How much money you got? I was afraid to hear the answer. $700. That's it, she said dryly. I had $950 myself. They made a total of $1,650, which, based on what we were used to spending, might as well have been $17. Who could we call? My mind went blank. I sat on the floor in her room and my nerves numbed, neutral. I had no feeling. The ringing of our telephone brought me back to reality. I picked it up. It was my mother's sister, Aunt Lori, on the line. Where's Santiago? She demanded. Not having thought of what I would tell people and when to tell them, whatever I decided to tell them, I said nothing. Winter, stop playing. Put Santiago on the phone. These mother suckers came and picked Stevie up out of here this morning. I need Santiago to send somebody over to see what's happening, to bring some money so we can get him out of there. Santiago's not here right now, Aunt Lori. Call back in a little while. Mommy don't feel well, or I'll call you back. Sorry about what happened. I'll give Santiago the message. Winter, these mother suckers went crazy out here, arrested everybody. Tell your father somebody got to come help us down here. By sundown, it was apparent it was a total wipeout. One by one, women's voices filled with fear, rage, and hysteria, calling, demanding that Santiago rescue their husbands, brothers, sons. They had all been bagged. I contacted Santiago's lawyer, Bob Goldstein. He was already on the case. He told me that right now there was nothing he could do but wait. He had phoned the precinct and verified Santiago's presence. Now he awaited arraignment and placement. He was seeing what the bail looked like, what all the charges were, what the evidence looked like. He told me to come down to the office on Friday to handle matters and to bring my mother. Magdalena did a hell of a job bringing the house back together again. I slid her a 50 spot for the extra work. It killed me to let go of the cash, but I did it just to keep the peace with her. I'd need her to watch the kids. Magdalena grabbed the money real quick and held on to it real tight. That's the end of chapter 5. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I upload it. If you would like to see chapter 6 uploaded soon, go ahead and like this video and leave a comment in the comment section.